Super Saturday kicks off with a game that, as a Sharks supporter, very, very nervous about. Now, the Sharks go into this one as favourites, but what have I said constantly in pretty much every single stream and every single preview video? I've said never underestimate a Wayne Bennett-coached team, and the South Sydney Rabbitohs have certainly been living up to that because they have been eking out victory after victory. When all looked down and out against the Dragons last week, they showed grit and determination and just hung in, found their way back into the contest and stole the victory at the end. I would hope that the Sharks, if they're going to be real, genuine premiership contenders or top four contenders, these are the sorts of games that they need to stand up and win. So I'm anticipating that they do get the win at home. This is a real banana peel game for them, though. This could be the game that they look back on at the end of the season, and they'll either be saying, those were valuable 2 points, or those were 2 points that we really should have won, that we now look back on and regret missing out on. Time will tell on this one. It should be a good game, though. The Sharks, in recent history, do seem to have it over the Rabbitohs, but again, that was pre-Wayne Bennett Rabbitohs. Wayne Bennett Rabbitohs are a completely different force. For the Bunnies, Jack Whiten returns. But outside of that, I've been very impressed with Jai Gray. Jai Gray has been in immense form. I mean, one of the standout fullbacks of the competition so far. Once again, small sample size, yeah. But he's been outstanding in the opening 2 rounds. And the Sharks, we know, are very susceptible to a slippery and speedy fullback. I've got a sneaky suspicion that Jai Gray might do some damage out there and really, really punish this Sharks defensive line. So I'm looking at Jai Gray certainly as a big option for any time try scorer. For the home side, my Cronulla Sharkies, well, they love attacking out wide. Another injury for the Rabbitohs, so Fletcher Myers, he'll be starting there in the number 5. Could that be an opportunity just to exploit another new defensive combination for the Bunnies? So I'm liking Mulatalo and Stone Street to combine for 2+ tries. We don't know exactly what edge the Sharks are going to go down just yet, but expect a couple of tries out wide in this one. So I'm going to go Sharks at home, but I'm going to pick the Sharks with very little confidence. We then move on to Redcliffe, KO Stadium. The Dolphins hosting the West Tigers. The Dolphins, boy, they've been disappointing in 2025 so far. I know that I said in the preseason that I was very, very concerned about them. The Wayne Bennett factor, the Wayne Bennett curse, it seems to be real because once again, Wayne Bennett has left a club and they are on struggle street. It's hard to find any positives at the moment out of the Dolphins. I mean, they nearly eked out a victory against the Bunnies in round 1, but it's hard to really pinpoint what's going wrong with them, apart from the very obvious defensive lapses, which I've pointed out in previous videos. Herbie Farnworth, one in particular that is jamming in. But then we found out in round 2 it happens on both edges of the field, doesn't it? Jareem Buller and Jack Bird both overcoming injury concerns. Jareem Buller, obviously the more important of the two. No offense to Jack Bird, but Jareem Buller, very important to the Tigers' spine, which we saw in full force for the very first time in round 2. I think the Tigers win this game. I think they win it quite comfortably too. Gerald Skelton and Stafford Toa, potentials for anytime try scorer. As I said, Jake Averillo and Herbie Farnworth at the moment, they're just guilty of jamming in and overcommitting into the defensive line and creating space out wide. And I think that the Tigers' backs could have an absolute field day as long as that spine remains intact. Hopefully Jareem Buller's 100% and gets through the whole game. Api Coruscant, we know that he's going to come off and have a break every now and then. But they've got Talon De Silva on the interchange bench, and I've been mighty impressed with him. Talon De Silva, whenever he's come on, he's almost like Api Coruscant light. He's been doing a lot of damage, sniping in around the ruck. And of course, Terrell May. Terrell May's been an absolute beast. I mean, it's the sort of game, it's perfectly set for a little bit of a reality check for Benji Marshall and his troops. And the Dolphins, they'll be desperate. Look, the possibility is there that the ambush is on. But no, look, I'm backing the Tigers. They're going to go on and they're going to get a big win here. Well, a comfortable win, put it that way. Let's say the Tigers to win by 14. Super Saturday finishes with the Gold Coast Titans hosting the Newcastle Knights. Boy, I've been impressed with the Knights this season. I'd written them off at the start of the year. I thought that they would be battling it out for the wooden spoon. But no, they've been brilliant. And that left-hand edge, every single video, I keep banging on about that left edge. And it has been absolutely immense. Apart from Bradman Best having a little bit of white line fever every now and then, there's a lot to like about the Knights. And I think they're going to put on a very big push for the top 8. The Titans, okay, it was a little bit of a false start. Round 2 was their first game. They had the bye in round 1, and it showed. They were a little bit rusty. The Bulldogs came out and absolutely blew them off the park in the opening 20. But then it was all Titans at the back end of the half. To start the second half, same again. Titans slow to get moving. Bulldogs blew them away. Titans came back into it at the end. So there's some positives there to build on for the Titans. And once again, I don't think that the Knights will have this all their own way. I am anticipating that they're going to win. The Titans have a very big absence. Calm Pereira ruled out of this game. He is their main try-scoring weapon. Now, they do obviously have attacking threats elsewhere in Keanu Kinney and Jojo Fafita and AJ Brimson. Jaden Campbell at halfback. He's been a little bit quiet, hasn't he, to be honest, but he's still growing into that role. We're going to have to give him time to get used to controlling the team and making it his own. But outside of that, they've got a decent looking forward pack, especially with Big Tino back, the captain. So, I mean, this game will be close. I'm really looking forward to it, but I just think the Knights, they're traveling along nicely at the moment. They eked out the win in round 1, despite it not being a very good performance all around. There against the Tigers, they looked a lot more impressive in round 2. I just think that one extra game, being battle-hardened for the Titans, this is just their second hit out. I expect improvement, maybe a complete performance this week rather than switching on and switching off. The Knights, for mine, to eke out a close one.